Hi! This time I'll be reviewing a book, and that book is Wicked. I've already reviewed the musical, so I thought, hey, why not review the book as well? And we've got a full set. Now, I haven't read all 4 of the books, I've just read the first one. So that's the only one I'm going to review, and I probably will get around to reading them at some point in the future. I just haven't got around to it yet. So, yay for the first book. Here it is. I'm going to start with talking about the differences and similarities. Now, I bought this book because I love the musical, so I thought, hey, why not buy the book? I like reading, let's read it. You know, what harm can it do? A lot. No, don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic book, and I'm so glad I read it because it's so good. However, if you want to read it because you love the musical, that should not be your motivation, because it is not the same story. I mean, it is very, 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 very loosely. Very loosely. So, yeah. Let me explain. All the characters are essentially the same, although there are a lot more characters in the book than there are in the musical. That's normal, that's always the way, because on a stage show you've got to have a smaller cast than you would have in a 500-page novel. However, there are characters in this that I feel like they missed out and tried to connect some characters together in the musical. Like, there are characters called Crope and Tibet, I have no idea, something like that. And I feel like they've all been combined into Bok, so that's a bit weird, but it's fine because that's what happens all the time. That doesn't really bother me that much. But characters like Fiyero and Glinda, and I'm not giving anything away here. This is knowledge that either you know, or if you don't know, you're finding out now and it won't affect your viewing or reading. But characters like Glinda and Fiyero, I feel like they're really, really dumb in the musical, and that's what makes them them. But now I've read this, that's not who they are. They're actually quite intelligent people, especially Fiyero. Like, there's no mention of him being an idiot. Also, all the explanations you get in the musical, nothing, except for like two of the explanations, right? 2 of them in here. The other 2 made up or slightly suggested that that's what the witch would like, but it doesn't happen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, gives you a good excuse to read the book and go and see the musical, doesn't it? Oh, dilemma, go see it, read it, now. One of the issues I have though is that it does take quite a long time for it to start moving. I mean, for the first 40 pages I kind of wasn't into it because it is a very, very political book. I probably should have mentioned that first. Very political, but it does take a long time to get into the story because you're a bit like, I don't really understand. But they do explain the politics throughout because it's effectively a dystopian novel, I guess, because it's set in a world similar to our own but completely different as well. So they do explain the politics so that we understand, and the religion and everything like that, which is quite nice. But it does take a long time to get into. Although on page, I still remember the page number, so on page 47 it explains why there's a wicked witch of the west, wicked witch of the east, good witch of the north, and no witch of the south. It explains that, and that's nice because I was like, finally I understand! So that was good, and from that point on I was totally engrossed in it. The book's split up into sections. There's 5 sections, and then there's a contents page as well, which I miss having contents pages. I like them. But yeah, so there's 5 sections, plus a prologue. And then those sections are split up into other named sections. And then those sections are split up into numbered sections. Because this book covers probably a 40-year span, so it helps you understand how far you've jumped in time, which is really, really, really helpful, because otherwise you'd be so confused, but I don't know how old she is anymore, because it follows the life of Elphaba, in case you didn't know, because I forgot to tell you that bit. I'm such an idiot. Okay. One thing which I was confused by is that in The Wizard of Oz, the film, Dorothy takes the witch's broomstick to the wizard. That also happens in Wicked the Musical. I've never read The Wizard of Oz books, but I can only assume that that doesn't happen, because in this they take something else because the broom is burnt up. Something which is very significant to the wizard and Elphaba's relationship. However, that doesn't happen in the film, so I was like, okay, Gregory Maguire is the author, by the way. He feels like he's just changed the story so that it fits, which is annoying. So I can only assume that that's what's happened in the Wizard of Oz books. And if it hasn't, that is a humongous continuity error. It really makes you think, even more than the musical does, because the musical makes you come out and you like, oh my god, my whole perception of reality is wrong. But this does it even more. It's such a good read. So if we split, I've decided that you have to split the book and the musical, two completely separate things, and then you're okay. So taking the book on its own, musical doesn't exist. It's a fantastic read. Really, really good. Completely changes your perception of reality. Love it. I would only suggest it to people who are prepared to have a political read though, because it's long. It's 500 pages nearabouts. Nearabouts? Thereabouts. And it is very heavy going, but it is enjoyable. And there's romance in there and stuff, so it's good. Okay. I will, of course, as I always do, leave you with a quote, and this time it is from the Wicked Witch of the West herself, or Elphaba, as she's more well known in this book. She says, "It's our own lives that are hidden from us, the mystery. Who's that person in the mirror? That's shocking and unfathomable enough for me." I really agree. Oh my god, such a good outlook on the world. So, see you next time. Bye!